All right. Well, let me get into the article real quick and we can begin the episode. We often hear about habits and everything, but what does science say about that? Turns out your daily habits don't just influence your life, they physically shape your brain. A study from MIT in a lab in 2005 found that habits are formed in a part of the brain involved in memory and pattern recognition. This means that the more you repeat an action, the more automatic it becomes, good or bad. Translation, something to make it more simpler, the brain literally rewires itself based on what you do daily. So, welcome back to Club 478. We got another good, deep, and interesting episode for you. I'm your host, Josiah.
I'm your host, Caleb.
I'm your host, Core.
And we're going to get into it. So, first and foremost, appreciate you for tuning in. Last pod, we did our thing. We did great. It was a very insightful conversation. So, we're going to keep that consistency going and continue with that type of energy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so first and foremost, I have a question I want to ask y'all. When it comes to success, right? We talked in the last pod how people are dying before they even achieve their dreams, before they really achieve something that they want to do. And the question today is, are you chasing a version of success that's yours, or you're chasing a version of success that isn't yours?
Quick. Say it again. Let me see.
I'm technically, yeah. Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Are you chasing a version of success that's yours, or are you chasing a version of success that isn't yours?
Most likely, I ain't gonna lie. I'm chasing a version of success of my own.
Right.
Cause can't nobody do it. Can't nobody be successful for me.
True.
I'm saying you might have role models that you look up to and stuff like that, but you got to be in control of your own success.
True.
So it's just like everything I do on from here and on out is towards my success. Cause I don't want to look back and like, dog, did I achieve anything? Or what could I have done to be successful?
Right. Don't you think though that's kind of one of the interesting like aspects of life though, because I can sit up here and say like, yes, the version of success that I'm chasing is mine. You know what I'm saying? I took initiative. I have the desire. Like, this is my ambition and my ambition alone. But when you think about it, I feel like everybody has that certain foundation, that certain building block that they started off with. And it could stem from seeing something or hearing something or just taking a keen interest or what somebody else is doing. Not saying that everybody's a follower. What I'm saying is it's like everybody takes inspiration from somewhere. You know, like, you know how in the earlier I was saying that I have an artist desk, if you will. Like, I feel like everyone is an artist in their own type of right. Whether they draw, whether they can sing, or whether it may be, everybody's an artist. Everybody takes like some type of inspiration from somebody in a own way. Because, like, for example, you can have like you discussed, like a role model or a mentor. You can have somebody that can influence those certain certain desires, whatever they may be. How do you feel about it, Corey? How do you?
I just think that, the same thing. Just pick it back off of Caleb. Just having your own path, your own version of yourself that you want to become. Because can't nobody else get to the version that you want to become if it's not based off what you believe in.
True.
Just based on your lifestyle, basically like oh, I want to make this much money. So, but you got to do the right things to get to that status.
Right.
You know, we all have role models that make ourselves, but in that we have to mold ourselves into what we supposed to be. We can't live our life for somebody else. We gotta live our life for us.
True. True. I truly believe that. That's very real of what you said, because like, but sometimes I just think I'm thinking from more of a psychology standpoint. I'm just thinking
Mm-hmm.
from a mind standpoint, like us as people as we navigate through the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, when it comes down to like the gist of it, you have to be your own person. Nobody can be you.
Yep.
Like, you have to be your own person. You have to have your own desires, your own dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you don't, then you're just a shell of a person.
Yep.
True.
So, but I feel like it's important to identify and know like where certain things stem from. Like, for example, like me lifting weights, yeah, it was a keen interest, but it just didn't come from just like, oh, I want to lift weights. You know, everything comes from something. Everything has a trigger of something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it'll almost be naive for me to say that everything I have done has been just because I want to do it. And
Something pushed you to want to do that.
exactly.
Something in your life, something happened that said, okay, I might need to veer towards this.
Right.
Right.
Right. And that can, and to clarify too, to bring more clarity to the situation, that can be not just people, that can be like a belief, like religion, that can be something you read. Like, it don't necessarily just have to be a person, you know.
Yeah.
It just something, some type of concept drove you to do this thing, right? Whatever it be. And that's, I feel like it's so interesting though, because people, all right, so it's a conversation that's going on that I've seen on different pods and stuff, that they debate, do we have like free will? Like free will, right? And I believe everybody has free will, right, to make decisions. But then this gentleman goes on to argue that, saying that, okay, if we have free will, right, he's debating this, right? I believe we have free will, but he's debating this other dude. He's saying, if we have free will, right, if we think about our habits, if we think about the things that we do, right, just how I just explained that study about the human brain, about habits and repetitions, right? Seeing somebody else do something, most likely at a younger age, it brushes off on you.
Yeah.
It can be good qualities or bad qualities.
Yep.
If your father was a hard worker and you see him work hard all his life, most likely you're going to have a pro and con effect. The pros is probably going to be a hard worker, or the cons is you want nothing to do with hard work. One of the either.
But also it make you envy of others that had an easier lifestyle than what you grew up with. Because you see that your dad was a hard worker and you've been raised to be a hard worker, but another person just been gifted everything, given everything.
Right.
On a silver platter. So it's kind of make you, a little jealous, a little envy.
Right. So I go back to the conversation of the dude debating the free will, right? Okay. Was it, this is the question he asked. He was like, okay, was it, I just gave you that example. That is something that we necessarily couldn't control. How when we was born, you know what I'm saying, who raised us.
Yep.
We can't control that.
Nope.
Right. Because a lot of people grew up differently.
True.
So it's just, every household is different, just like you said.
Yeah, every household is different. Every story is different. And his argument was like, if we got so much free will, why don't we have the free will to dictate those choices? And any logical person would be like, well, I mean, when it comes to scientifically, when it comes to like birth and stuff like that, we can't just choose. We know that. That's something that's literally that we cannot choose. And that argument, well, then if that's the case, then we don't have free will. It's like, no, like, I felt like the whole conversation was, at first, I felt like it was stupid. I'm like, man, this dude is a nut job. He don't know what he's talking about. But sometimes, like, as I get older, I'm okay with listening to people I disagree with because I might learn something. At the end of the day, I still might learn something about myself. I might learn something, a different perspective. Sometimes I'm learning about different perspectives, and that's why, like, I'm glad that we're doing something like this when it comes to this type of thing, because like we get to really explore different perspectives of people and ourselves, of course. You know,
Right.
we all come from different backgrounds, so it's cool though. I very that was my question for y'all though.
Okay.
But yeah, any other questions, or do you want me to keep going with it?
Let's just keep flowing with it.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. We finna go and we finna shift. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We're finna go into like more of like inner loyalty and more of like connections that we experience with people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you attract love or just tolerate attention?
That's a great question. Because I think we as us guys, we want to attract love, but I think we just sometimes we just tolerate attention because we want we want to have girls in our phones and have somebody call every once in a while.
Right.
It's like you crave that attention, you crave to have somebody, just dial the phone to, instead of just trying to be able to attract love to attract a real connection with somebody.
That's interesting because like,
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
because it's like, all right, we talk about love and we talk about attention and stuff like that, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes like people confuse the two. People blur the lines of what attention is and what love is. Some
What
people,
love is.
right?
Yep.
And I feel like love is kind of like really don't. This is my opinion. I feel like love really don't have a true definition, because I feel like a person who has a passion for something and is dedicated to their craft, that is a version of love. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like, and I feel like also like it's different types of love, right? So that's
Yeah.
hard to put it in a category. It's
Yeah.
different. So when we talk about like, as far as like experiencing it with people, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you look at your relationships, you look at like the good ones and the bad ones, and
Mm-hmm.
I've realized that I necessarily haven't attracted love. It was a genuine connection. Well, at that age, I felt like it was appropriate for that to be like a genuine connection for my
Mm-hmm.
mental capacity. But as far as like it being like love, how some people may describe it, it may not be that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like love is kind of like whatever, however you define it, right?
Yep.
I feel like it's no really right, or like I said, it's no right or wrong way how to categorize love. And as far as like attention, for me, I've never been a attention person. I've been a person that always like push myself away from the attention.
Mm-hmm.
So me coming into like this content space, me coming into these new things, trying to really get myself out there is different, because now I'm trying to attract the attention, something that I'm not used to at all.
Yep.
Very interesting, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the love, the love I have for my passion though, and the love that I have for what I'm trying to do, I kind of just I feel like the attention just comes naturally, and I'm okay with that. But I kind of decipher the two though. I understand that like me loving what I want to do, the attention is just coming. That is just a byproduct, basically. But that's just my take on it.
Then for that, Kid, what you think?
It's a very deep question.
It is a very deep question. It is a very deep question because me personally, I'm a person. I'm a person of love. Like
All right.
I be
It's a safe place, bro. It's a safe place, bro. I mean, you.
it's a real deep question. So it's like, cause like anybody could just tolerate attention, you know.
All
But
right.
like just like you said, love is has different meanings in it.
All right.
Can't just go out as like, okay, I just love this person. It's got to be something that's pulling you into loving that person as much as you say you love that person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so much into it. So it's just God dang it.
No, that's a hard question. I mean, like, it's when you think about it, right? You can only tell it through your perspective and through your experience. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, so if
Yeah.
I say, you know what I'm saying, I believe that love is attention for me, then who am I to tell them that is not a I may not agree with it. I may not agree with it personally, but
Mm-hmm.
if that is what fulfills them, who am I to judge? You know,
Yeah.
one of the most things that I'm starting to live by is who am I to judge in an imperfect world? Who am
Yep.
I? And I am an imperfect man myself.
Mm-hmm.
For I feel like I have no right to tell somebody how to love.
Yep.
I can only tell them how I want to be loved. You know,
True.
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, regardless of what you attract, I feel like it stems from something. Because if we really try to dissect this, not trying to be that guy to just go deep into a question, but if we really talk about attraction, the law of attraction, y'all familiar with that term, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So it's like by definition, you are what you attract.
Yeah.
So my
So
my
true. That is so true.
my thing is the people out here. Then what are you attracting? Look at the qualities of women you've dealt with. Look at the qualities of men you've dealt with, and look at
Mm-hmm.
people and really study them
Mm-hmm.
in themselves. Sometimes people are quick to point the finger, but when in reality, you have to really point back at yourself and look in the mirror and be like, okay, what am I doing to make myself allowed to go through these situations or
These trials and tribulation.
these flings, if you will.
If yeah, that flames too. Yeah.
That's what I if we talking just with people,
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like things have changed over time as it's supposed to. Things are supposed to change over time. If things are always the same, I feel like people will go insane. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people complain of, oh, we need to go back to the old days, but in reality, I feel like everything needs to just move forward. Because
Mm-hmm.
in order, because that's what's going to keep us surviving. That's going to keep us um evolving in terms of knowledge and awareness. Like we have to
Right.
move forward.
Right.
We have to move forward. We have to. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as like attraction, whatever you attracting necessarily, you just have to look inward and be like, okay, what type of qualities do I have inward that's attracting these type of people? Or
Mm-hmm.
better yet, what kind of qualities that I possess right now that are making these people attracted to me?
To me, yep.
Right.
So,
Because sometimes it could be physical features. It could be material things that you have. You
right,
never know what it could be.
Yeah.
right.
Cause a
But
lot of people are driven to people by different stuff.
Yeah. Because a lot
true,
of people are driven like you said, by material stuff. Not even because they generally like the person or they look good. It's just well, I see what they can do for me. So let me
right,
let me kind of show attraction to this person so that way he'll talk to me.
right. And you know what's so funny? That regardless of like what it may be, like let's say is it physical and stuff like that, I
Yeah.
feel thing still goes back to mental and inward. Like everything
Yeah.
still go back to inward. Because let's say we look at a materialistic person, like you said, Corey. or we talking about a physical person, like you said, cause of like, bro,
Mm.
it's like it goes back to inward. Who are they? Who are they really at the core? Who are they
Yep.
at the core? Because it's somebody that desires materialistic stuff. It's a story
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. Why do you
Yep.
desire that so much? Let's really peel that back.
Yep. Peel the layer back and see like what happened
Mm,
in your life that make you feel like materialistic thing is the only thing that can win your love
True.
or win your attraction.
and and sometimes for like you said, because of like the physical, like if we peel that back, sometimes it could just be simple immaturity, simple not just not taking time to really understand a person, to really
Right.
connect with a person. It always goes back to mental. I feel like it always gonna go back to mental, regardless of what you attract, whether it's love or attention. It's always gonna go back to the mindset. Who are you at the core? Okay, so since we covered that right there, we're gonna pivot back into more of legacy, and yeah, we're gonna talk about legacy pretty much. If that's cool with y'all,
Yeah.
I guess I'm the question guy right now, so I'm in the driver's seat. I'm just gonna be in the driver's seat right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Drive the car. Drive it.
All right, all right. Okay, this is not even on legacy, but if you look at the what we got written down
Mm-hmm.
legacy,
Mm-hmm.
on legacy, this is something that I just want to talk about. Um, I don't know how y'all belief system when it comes to being a good man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's listening in, but I'm pretty sure y'all done figured out that we all are young men. So anyway, I believe when to become a good man, right, is principles that you have to abide by. You have to be a man of morals. You have to be a man of standard, of course. But I feel like it's three parts to a man to really become a good man, to become successful, or whatever you want to call it. What the new people call it now, high value. I don't know what that means, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that terms mean at all.
You
I
talking about like, as of
yeah,
like as a high value man?
mm,
All right. So basically, like
yeah,
high value man is different meanings to some people. Just like tend like or wrap it back around to like materialistic things.
mm,
Like you know what? I'm gonna use the city as an example. You go to Houston, Texas.
all right,
Everybody knows go to Houston, Texas is a whole lot of money around.
all right,
Most women go, like not just saying all women, but some women are in Texas to find a man with money. They're trying to go find that high value man.
that sounds like you just looking for a sugar dad. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the thing.
Keeping it
But
above,
not but see, it's different ways to it. 'Cause you can have a high value man who is God fearing,
right?
and like you can also have a high value man who's not afraid to go out and get it.
Yep.
See, that's what I'm saying though. Like I never understood that perspective. What high value means. Like you can't really categorize that into like one thing. So boom, back to what I was saying. When it comes to being a good man, when it comes to being a man of principle, a man of discipline, all those good qualities that everybody hoops and hollers about, all the motivational speakers say you should be. I feel like it's three parts, right? Just listen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got the physical, right? You got
Yep.
the mental, you got the spiritual. Those three things, I feel like you need that to become a good man. You need those three things, right? Because let's talk about it. If I'm just physically fit and I lack in the mental department, I'm half of a man.
Yeah.
Honestly. And if I'm spiritual, but I'm lacking in the physical department, I'm still half of a man.
Yeah.
To be fully complete, this is just my opinion. You have to be,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have all three parts. All three parts. Because you have certain tiers about yourself. You're just not a one trick pony, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's important to have those three. And as far as like spiritual, they can be like religion and stuff, like whatever you may believe in. Like you have to believe in something. I feel like every person of principle, every person of moral standing believes in something. And I'm not trying to push religion on anybody whatsoever. I'm just saying they believe in something. And even if they don't, they still have certain principles that they truly believe in that keeps them in a moral standing, in a good moral standing. So I feel like you need those three when it comes to legacy. You know what I'm saying? Because if we talk about kids and we talk about people you may encounter, like people you may mentor, people you
Mm-hmm.
advice to, I feel like if you have those three things in check, your advice will be way better. Or somebody looking up to you will look at it like, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. Somebody who has their self in check,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's physically fit. And then when I mean by physically fit, I don't mean by like just bodybuilder. I mean somebody who's physically fit, who's active,
Yeah.
somebody who mentally educates themselves, somebody who's
Mm-hmm.
mentally aware. That means a lot when it comes to being a man. You're gonna be in rooms where you have
Mm-hmm.
that you're not stupid. Let's just
Yeah.
be. You have
Mm-hmm.
to be in rooms where you have to negotiate and have conversations. That's where
Yeah.
the capacity comes in.
Yeah.
Three, spiritual. You have to believe in something.
Yeah.
You have to believe in something that is above yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody's bigger than the program. You have to.
But nobody's bigger than the program. But think about what if somebody
That's what I'm.
doesn't have that respect. So, but they have morals though. Even though they don't think on a spiritual level, but they have morals that they abide by.
We can consider that a spiritual then. You still have to believe in something though.
Something. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like even if
Yeah.
you don't, like let's say you're not necessarily religious, right?
Yeah.
Still, like you still have to believe in something though. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just believe like you're walking around with nothing. Because honestly, this is just my opinion. Not to judge. This is just my perspective. If I encounter somebody that doesn't believe in something, I'm not judging them because they don't believe in something. We're all people at the end of the day. We're
Right.
entitled to have our own beliefs and our own the way we think about the world, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
be the Christian or Buddhist or Muslim of the year. I'm not trying to be that. I'm not trying to be that. I'm not trying to be the religious guy of the year here. I'm not trying to pull my religious guy card whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saying when it comes to, let's say you don't believe in something, you're not Muslim, you're not Christian, whatever. Okay, still, what do you believe in when it comes in to being a good person? What do you believe in when it comes to being kind? You know what I'm saying? Where do you believe in when it comes to like when you encounter a stranger, how you greet people? And that can be spiritual in itself because people are energy.
Yep.
People all have connections. We're all social creatures by nature.
Mm-hmm.
You are lacking in that spiritual department, as in, just showing great energy. Having good energy is spiritual in its way. I'm not trying to be no spiritual guru whatsoever. I'm not that type of guy whatsoever. But having good energy is infectious. If you have good energy, everybody smiling, laughing, even if they have bad, they're gonna acknowledge that, hey, this person is a good person. He's trying to cheer me up, or he's trying to brighten my mood, or he's coming with good vibes. I've had a that can mean a lot spiritually without even being as far as like religious wise. So that's my response to somebody who doesn't believe in something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how
Mm-hmm.
you know I guess try to put a tier list of if they're a good man or not, because you don't have to believe in something like religious wise to be a good man. I'm not
Yeah.
saying, but you have to believe in something bigger than yourself though,
Yeah.
and that doesn't have to necessarily be a religion. That just has to be
Mm.
a way of thought, aware of something. So yeah, that is my thought process when it comes to like just being a good man, just being a good person overall though. I feel like
Mm. But
you
I
need
just think in this generation it's hard for people to be a good person because always jealousy. It's jealousy in the world.
It's a whole lot of that
true.
because it's just like somebody sees like you be out. This person want this because this person has that.
But
Can't
that's
you can't have what somebody else has. You got to get your own.
true. That goes back to self, though. All that goes back to self.
Right.
All that goes back. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's so interesting about this conversation that we having, bro. All this stuff that we talk about goes back to self. Who are
Mm-hmm.
what have you experienced that make you feel that way? You see what I'm saying? Because don't nobody just get jealous for no reason. It has to be
Mm-hmm.
a motive behind somebody getting jealous. It,
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
somebody's just not gonna get envious of you for no reason. It
Yeah.
has to be a certain belief system behind it for somebody to get jealous or envy. They
Mm-hmm.
have to feel that first. You see what I'm saying? They have to feel that first. So what is making you feel that way? And it
Yep.
can be simple. You don't have to be all deep and insightful. Like, oh, my mom and they went through this. You don't have to be all that. It
Mm-hmm.
can just be simple answers, like on the surface. Sometimes the simple answer is the right answer. Just being real. That's just how life works. Sometimes the deepest answer is the best answer, and sometimes the simple answer is the right answer.
You're right.
But when it comes to like saying nowadays it's hard to be good, I feel like even back then it was hard. I feel like when it comes to just morally, it's just you have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of man do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be? Like that's just the overall standing. Because anybody who's self-aware and really is aware of their actions, they're
Yep.
not they're not gonna just be like, okay, I'm jealous of this person. This is that. They're gonna be aware of how, why, when did I start feeling this way? How do I stop?
Mm-hmm.
Because if could we talk about jealousy and stuff like that? Okay, y'all know the sins, right? Pride, greed, stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all of that is part of humans, right? We all naturally have that. We all naturally have that greed, pride. Like everybody has that. I know I do. I have so much pride. I know I do. Not saying they can. Not saying that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It can be bad too as well in certain situations.
Yep.
So that's why I say, like, when it comes to what your morals is, it goes back to your moral standing. Like I said, what kind of person do you want to be? That's what it goes back to. What kind of person do you want to be? Do
Yep.
you want to be a person that's jealous and envious of another human being that's navigating through life just like you?
Mm-hmm.
That's the real question. And I'm
That's
saying
true.
may be jealous for somebody, and sometimes it don't really be jealousy. It just be people really admire people. That's really what it be. It be like, oh, I really love what this person is doing, but my pride is so high to the point that I won't acknowledge that. So now it comes off as I'm jealous, and
Yep.
it turns into that. It turns into
Mm-hmm.
this and jealous. Like, oh, why is he always getting up and running, or why is he always posting da da da? In reality, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you want to do the exact same thing, or you had a similar idea. You had a you had a See, it's interesting when we talk about athletes, right? When we talk about
Mm-hmm.
athletes are always competing, right?
Yep.
It's natural.
Right.
It's natural for an athlete to get envious or jealous of one another. It's naturally because we're always competing. You got to think from a competitor standpoint. Those feelings come natural. Not saying it's good. Not saying that saying that that's okay if you feel that way whatsoever. I'm not acknowledging that. What I'm saying is when it comes to being in a competitive type of environment, jealousy and envy naturally occur. So you
Yep.
have to be aware of yourself and be like, what kind of person am I? Yes, we're competing. May the best man win. I should harbor no jealousy or hate or envy towards anybody that's competing for a goal that's like mine. May
Yep.
the best win. And that's spoken like a true competitor.
Yep.
So I don't necessarily think it's hard. I think it's more of a
No, it's never hard. I just think the pride gets the fold people because of the fact that it's not hard to be a good person. But the thing about it is that mental aspect of, do I want to be the good person on this day?
right,
Bro.
right.
Cause
Mm,
like
that was good. That,
how to say like don't get me wrong. It's some pros, just like you said, Car. It's pros and cons to being a good person.
yeah.
It's pros and cons to it. So it's really just win. That's how I look at it.
Well, if we
You,
look at the world today, right? Not to cut you off or anything. If we look at
you go. Go ahead.
we highlight the villains anyways.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was thinking, I'm like, man, why do I relate to the villain so much? You wanna know why? Because the villain is always relatable. The villain
Yeah.
is most likely always relatable. If it's a good movie or a good
Yeah.
film, villain is
Mhm.
most likely because
But
he's
see,
more
the villain is cool though. He the cool person. He get throughout the villain get all the fancy toys, all the good equipment and stuff.
right,
Yep.
While the superhero, they get kind of like the bob in the barrel.
right,
Right.
right. And that's why I say, like, when it comes to people, like I said last time, we live in a social hierarchy, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
guru was up. We live in a social hierarchy where everything is really by status.
Yes.
So you're looking at this villain and you're looking at him have all the fancy cars and this and that, and he's doing bad, he's getting away with it and stuff like that. We're looking at how the social hierarchy is by nature. Look at the people who are in the top right now. If we're really being real,
Yeah.
are really good people. Really think about it. Really think about it. And I'm not here to push I'm not getting political whatsoever.
No.
And really look at it because it comes a time that you have to realize that where you are in the world, right?
Right.
And you have to understand what you're trying to do, right? So I feel like anybody who's in tune with their self, like I said, jealousy and envy still gonna happen. That is
Yep.
gonna happen. Just like greed, just like pride, like that's all gonna happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's it's part of our life. We're gonna always experience that. That's gonna be an always battle that we're gonna battle. Like same thing with lust, like in other things like that I didn't talk about. Like those things are things that we're always gonna face as humans.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I said, it goes back to morals. And I'll say this again, what kind of person do you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
That is the whole thing of this pod right now, in this whole like convo right now has been like, what do you want to be? What kind of person are you? What kind of person are you?
Yeah.
You know, like we are not here to tell you what kind of person you should be. We're
Yeah.
just from our perspective. You have to find that out individually what kind of you want to be. And now
Mm-hmm.
take wisdom and you take a look like gems that we drop from here, then that's great. But I encourage everyone who's listening to find their own path truly, to find their own belief, to find their own moral standing, whatever it may be, and go with that and live life accordingly to that. Because if you don't have nothing, you fall for anything. If you don't have nothing, if you stand for nothing, like nothing, like if you let anything in as far as like your boundaries and standards, if you let anything in,
Yeah.
like what does that say about you? Truly,
True. Show that you really got no morals.
at all. And when I went back to saying about the three parts of a man, that makes a man. Morals make a man. Standards, principles to abide by that make a man. And I'm not saying this is just real and authentic. Like, this is not me telling you to go outside and run 300 miles and do 200 push. I'm not saying you got to do all that to be like, oh, now I'm a man of morals and physical life. No, I'm just saying that it should be a journey of self-improvement and a constant effort to improve yourself. And I feel like you owe that to yourself. Everybody owes that to their self, to improve their self.
Right.
And we haven't even, which is crazy, we haven't even got really into the legacy, which is wild. But you got any questions y'all wanna, or you want me to keep it going? Just let me know.
Speaking of like what you just said, since you said we ain't gotten to legacy,
Right.
like I ain't gonna lie, let's push into that.
Right.
All right. Not gonna lie. Just like what you just said, you
Mm-hmm.
how did you just say that? Say exactly what you just said about.
Like, as far as what, like legacy.
Yes.
I was saying that. I was saying, like, when it comes to being like a good man, having those three standards and having those three things to abide by, that's what makes a good man.
Okay.
That's what I off on.
Okay, so come down to like legacy. So I'm gonna go off this first question right here. What story will they tell about you when you're gone? Thing is, you don't want to leave behind a bad rep of yourself. You want to leave with a rep of that was a good man right there. He made sure everybody was straight. Everything was taken care of. He was a hard worker. Like you don't want you don't want to leave that behind. You want to leave something like that behind. You don't want to leave. Oh, shit, Caleb ain't do none of that. He didn't check up on me. He ain't called me.
Right.
Like you don't ever want to leave behind a bad rep, especially like for people that do know you, and then like just out in like the real world, like shoot, your legacy don't even have to be like you yourself.
Right.
Like legacy could be a family thing.
True.
Like your whole family's legacy. Oh, that's a good family right there. That like everybody's family is known for something.
True.
And
Even if it's good or bad.
Exactly. And the thing is, you don't want to build a bad reputation. You don't want to build a bad reputation with your through a family name, because then that pushes on through. Like everybody's like, oh, that I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't mess with them. That family's not right. No, he can't. They don't work. They don't work good. They work about a few weeks and they can quit. You don't want that type of reputation on your family name and on your name, because that's gonna keep you from progressing and getting to where you actually want to be in life, and building yourself in general to being the man that you want to be, being your best you. A lot of stuff can get in your way with that. It's just all about like how you building it.
Yeah.
Interesting, cause like, I always had the thought of like, legacy is really what you make it. Yeah. Right? Legacy is what you define it to be. Like love in its own right? It's kind of like, okay, my legacy. Do I want my legacy to be a man that was always disciplined, a man that was always consistent in his goal, who was relentless and ambitious and very desirable to achieve something? Then, that's how I submit my legacy. I feel like Mike Tyson said it best. Legacy is more of an ego thing. You feel me? Like, we're all gonna die. That's just the reality of it. We're all gonna die. How we're gonna be remembered is up to the people who do the remembering, literally. And how you live on this earth and how you present yourself, that is up to you and you alone. Because people will say things good and bad about you, regardless of how great it was.
All right, that's so correct.
So it's like, I feel like you should live life on your own accord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You should, like I said, you should have standards, you should have principles. You're gonna hear this a lot in this pod. You're gonna hear a lot of standards, principles, and morals, because I wanna basically seep that into people's head that you need to have those things if you want to be successful. And when I mean by, I don't mean by the pretty girls and fast cars. I mean fulfillment, self-fulfillment, fulfillment that you have finally did something. That's success. That is success. And like I said, you cannot categorize success either, because success is what you defined it to. But when it comes to leaving a legacy, it's what you make it. It's what you make it. You only have one name, so make that count. You only have one life, so make that count. If you want to chase your passion, mopping the floor as a janitor, and you take pride in that, that's what fulfills you.
Correct.
Now, that's not my cup of tea, but hey,
Yeah.
that's what that person does, and he has purpose from it. That is the main goal of what I'm really trying to say here. Is like, if you have purpose, you have principles, you have standards. Again, sounds like a tape recorder. You have morals. You will find something that's bigger than yourself. You will accomplish something. Something will happen. Those are keys for something to happen in your life. Something's going to happen. I'm not saying that it's going to be just all sunshine and rainbows, but something will. You will learn things. You will endure things. You will accomplish things. You will fail. You will go through all the processes of life, but that is the recipe to really have self-fulfillment.
Yep.
We talk about legacy. Like I said, legacy is a lot of things. There's a lot of things. But when it comes to just individualized, if we just being selfish here, like, you want to have things that you are proud of, not things that other people are proud of. You want to have things that you are truly proud of. Things that you, when you're on your deathbed, you can be like, hey, I did that. They told me I was crazy, and I did it anyway. That's life. That's how life is meant to be lived. I feel like legacy has a good rap and a bad rap, because some people legacy is so big to the point that it kind of demeans their kids. You feel me? They're in the shadow of what their fathers accomplished or what their mothers or parents accomplished. And I feel like you're not ordained by legacy. You're not controlled by legacy. Legacy does not define you. You define you. What you want to accomplish in the world, that defines you. The type of person that you are, that defines you. Again, your principles, your morals, your standards, that defines you. Like I said, it's a give and take when it comes to legacy. That's an ongoing conversation. We could talk about that for hours, about what really legacy actually means.
But even with the legacy thing, even if you went to a family, like grew up in a family that had a bad reputation, you could still change the reputation and the perspective of that family by just changing what you do. Because think about it, maybe your other family didn't know any better about how to be a good person, but you had opportunity to change it and actually be like, oh man, that family is really good. Because even though the rest of them are not as great, but this one right here, he different.
All right.
He got something special about him. He gonna get us out this situation. And God might then give you the best tools and situation that you had, maybe, for his living situation, but that's probably what driven people to, be better.
All right.
You can see a lot of superstars, a lot of different people came with different backgrounds that the living conditions changed to where they are now. They didn't want to live like that no more.
All right.
And it had to change how the respect of the family to change their outlook.
All right. Like
So
I said,
legacy really could be all about what you think about it, all family oriented, be morals or anything.
all right. It can be anything. And if we just asking like for me answering the question, like I believe that legacy is more individually based, but
Yeah.
I feel like it is because like for me to do something for the sake of my family, not even to be proud, this is the prideful that we're talking. To do something for the sake of my family is very great. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's not a bad feat. You going to accomplish something because you want to make your family proud. I feel like that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, I feel like it goes back to you too. Like if you're just selfless and be like, yeah, I'll do this for my family, stuff like that, that's very great. And I acknowledge that to the fullest. But we just talk about somebody who has this specific goal, this specific passion that necessarily doesn't align with a family legacy, then what do you say then? You feel me? Then I feel like it's more individually based, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't align with the grand scheme of things. And I'm not saying that neither are good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Both are good in my opinion. If you do something for bigger than yourself and you are of service to something bigger than yourself, I feel like that is great. And that's why you should do things, honestly, when it comes to like something bigger than yourself, something being of service, helping people, making the world better before you leave it. I feel like that is what is essential and what we need to progress as humans. But on also, when it comes to individually, when it comes to how we take self-fulfillment from the soul, then it's like, hey, I have things I want to accomplish too on my end. That's part of my journey. I feel like people say it's only one path. I feel like it's multiple paths that you may walk. You may walk one for family, one for physical fitness, and one for just accomplishing that goal that you promised yourself when you was a kid. You can have 3 paths. You can all walk 3 paths. Eventually, they're going to narrow down to one. Eventually. But it's okay if you have multiple paths. You know, people speak like, oh, well, you have to have one thing. And I believe that is the most craziest, absurdest things that you can say to a young person. That you have to do one thing. You have to limit yourself to one thing. I feel like that is crazy. You should try literally everything you can. Anything that you are passionate about, that you feel like you will have a career in, something that you're interested in, you should try it. You should you should be open to trying. You should be trying because that means that you're open to failing. If you're open to trying, you're open to failing. And if you're open to failing, you're open to succeeding. So that's how I feel about it, really.
Yeah.
When we talk about legacy and what we want it to mean, because that's really what it is, what we want it to mean. But moving forward, right? We're gonna shift towards the more connection stuff we experience with people again. We're gonna bring that back. We're gonna be around a lot, but if you're like, you can skip and tune in which segments that we talk about certain things. I've just felt like that would be easier. So, talking about connection and stuff. Are you in love or are you just afraid of being alone?
I like that.
That's the question.
That's good. Are you in love or are you just afraid to be alone? That's a great question. I think for most people, some people are just afraid to be alone more than be in love.
True.
If you think about all the failed relationships and all the people that they be together 3-4 months and it don't work out.
Right.
I think some people just like the perception of a relationship of going on dates and doing stuff, but don't like the commitment and what actually comes with being in love. Because being in love is every day you might not wanna, you might not it not be a great day with your partner, but it's those the moments that make the love. For it's like the bad moments to the good moments of
Right.
learning each other, likes, dislikes, or different ambitions. What you see yourself in 10 years. That's how you build genuine love for a person. But I feel like more people, for us guys, and it make me girls too. I think some people can just be they're afraid to be alone, so they'll just kind of just go with the flow of being with somebody just to be with somebody more than just as in having love towards that person.
Mhm.
That's interesting because like my take on it is like I'm not even trying to sound like these motivational gurus or nothing, but I am so focused on what I'm trying to achieve right now that I feel
Same.
like me being alone is not even a factor right now. Or me being in love is not even a factor right now. When we talk about being in love and just afraid of being alone, if I end up alone at the top, then I feel like that was the price that I had to pay.
For.
That is just my perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you want to have somebody that you on the top of the summit with, but sometimes, bro, you just have to make that hike alone, and that is okay. I feel like that is okay. You know what I'm saying? But as humans, I feel like we should experience connections with other human beings. We need that. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to like a relationship, I feel like now that I draw back, most of my relationships suffered because I was so dedicated in a goal that was bigger than me. So therefore, I didn't really have time to draw into those feelings. And I'm completely fine with that. That is something that I have took accountability for, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally fine with that.
Yep.
I'm totally fine with that. And the reason why I say that, I feel like most people, like you said, are just scared of being alone. And my thing is this: if you have a goal and you have something that's bigger than yourself, you will never be alone. You have something that's inside you, a certain type of desire that's inside you that is driving you, that you necessarily don't feel alone because you're just going.
Yep.
You're just working. You're just clawing away at this possibility that you're trying to chase. And I feel like the love, because, okay, I feel like a lot of people like me, we get to our goals and we don't have necessarily the love part, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people make their bed. Most people are like, all right, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, cool.
Yeah.
But most people are not in tune with themselves enough to be like, all right, this is a possibility that I don't end up with no one, but I have accomplished this goal that I've chased for endlessly. And that's what's so interesting, like the balance of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some people who want to get rich, right? My thing is not to just get rich, right? So I've never been that type of person. But you have some people that do, and in their own right, if that fulfills them, then who am I to judge? But they want to get rich, right? And once they get rich, they're alone, and they realize that, man, what's the point of being rich and being alone if I can't somebody that truly loves me?
True love, but the chairs, to have something to spend, spend his stuff with, you know what I mean? To
Right.
enjoy it, enjoying his life.
And hey, I feel like it goes back to just dying alone. I feel like most people just scared to die alone. And when it comes to like being alone, afraid of being alone, I feel like that's where it stems from. People are afraid to die alone. They're afraid that they have accomplished and I'm speaking from myself too. Like
Mhm.
I've accomplished all these things in your life, and now when it's the end goal, nobody's there for you. You're alone.
Yeah.
So I kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a personal okay, a personal point, as in like what you just said. Okay, so just like you said, everybody like some are afraid to die alone. Now, me personally speaking on me personally, now I used to think like that. I used to think like that because like I used to think I had to be with someone.
Right.
I ain't know how to be alone. Everybody like I don't think like everybody gonna think like that. Like you gonna have some people that think like you gonna have some people that think like that. It's a whole lot of people in this world that think like that. But like me personally, I always used to think about I gotta be with someone. I ain't know how to be alone. But in the time I was alone, yeah, it taught me how to be alone. And in that time of being alone, it helped me grow. And like
Right.
now it's like to that point of I'm all right with being alone. I don't have to have that. I don't have to have a person. I don't have to be with nobody to be happy. It's all about you're held accountable for your own happiness. You shouldn't allow your happiness shouldn't be accountable for like somebody else should not be accountable for your happiness. You should be held accountable for your own happiness.
Right.
So that's kind of that's what I had looked at. Me personally, I thought I had to have somebody to be happy.
Right.
As I progressed through life, I got to that point. I don't need nobody to be happy. I'm good.
Right.
That's my point on that.
And that comes from like the being alone part. That comes from self love. You know what I'm saying? Like self fulfillment. There it goes. I keep saying that word. That's the magic word of the day. I don't know why I keep coming up, but it's the answer to a lot of stuff. You have to have something bigger than yourself. I keep saying that because they gonna think I'm crazy if I keep on saying this, Corey. But I'm for real. I'm so serious. Like it's the simple answers are sometimes the hardest answers. The simple things are sometimes the hardest things to do. Let's say it like that. Like it's literally like the simple principles and beliefs that you can adopt into your life are sometimes the hardest ones to do. But yeah, self-love, that goes a long way. Self-love, having a self-belief in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because like my thing is this, I truly believe, people may say this delusion or not, but I believe that as I walk on the journey that I'm walking on and I chase this dream, this goal, this passion, that eventually I will find people that align with me.
Right.
Eventually I will find that. I will run into somebody that's like-minded.
Yep.
Eventually.
But it's always somebody out there for somebody.
Yeah, it's always somebody out there for somebody.
Sometimes you just have to be patient and just wait for your moment.
Right. And I feel like that's majority of it though. People are so impatient to get to that certain point when reality is like, bro, you haven't went through enough stuff yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I never understood why people believe you talk about envious and jealous stuff. It's like, bro, this person worked his butt off endlessly to get to this goal. And you're jealous of him. You're jealous of somebody who worked from the bottom to the top.
Right.
And did the same exact thing. That's why I personally never have been envious of jealous towards another individual. I've never been as far as competition, yes, because like I said, I'm an athlete. I come from an athlete. Like, of course, you have that competitive. Yeah, I want to do better. I want to do, but it's never been a. I hope that you fail because you came from the bottom. Why am I hoping that somebody's failed that has already failed multiple times? Why am I wishing more failure on that person? I feel like wishing more failure on a person is doing them a favor, honestly, because now they're going to keep going with that failure because they learned something and they're going to succeed even more.
Yeah. Right.
Whoa, come on, bro. What are we talking about? That's real, though. Like, but yeah, I wanted to ask that question, though, to just see where our mind was at when it comes to like that. Like, or see, right now, it seems like we just more of like, let's just accomplish the goals that we have. Let's just live life and whatever aligns with us aligns with it. Like
Yeah,
that
but
is
no, but thing about it is, we all been like that because I've been like that too. But
yeah,
Right.
after you've been through different stuff with different, you
yeah,
know, girls and stuff like that, you start realizing, man, do I really want to keep putting myself through? It's like, well, I just be patient, and get myself where I need to be at, and then I wait for that moment to happen. But I'm just tired of forcing. Tired of just forcing stuff.
True.
yeah,
Just because you feel like you need that attention, because you see, everybody on social media with the Valentine's Day, the Christmas pictures and stuff. So it kind of make you feel some type of way, you like, because you want that.
right,
But at the same time, it might not be your time yet. And sometimes you have to just keep going, keep pushing, and get to where you need to be at. And then once that moment happens, you have to be ready for it.
Right.
right. And it's so crazy that a lot of problems that go on in the world is really caused by like social media a little bit. You think about
Yeah.
not
Mm-hmm.
not all, but
Not all, but
some.
certain situations.
Yeah, because like I feel like social media kind of like puts thoughts into people's heads that necessarily wasn't there to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you see a couple together and you like, bro, I should maybe try to settle down. It's like, bro, you ain't never thought about that until now.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
feel like it influence people to do things that normally they wouldn't do or say things they normally wouldn't do. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But I feel like you should be in tune with yourself and be your own person, regardless of what social media, regardless of what society says you should be yourself. I really believe that. It's nobody that's gonna be you. So we're gonna shift forward. Y'all can hear me? Everything good?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about fear, regret, and we're gonna talk about change. Gonna shift here. If you're still listening, appreciate you for hold on real quick, like okay, I'm back. I'm gonna just skip. I'm just gonna skip forward and split it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to go. All right. So we're gonna talk about fear, regret, and change. All right. So, what would you do differently if you weren't scared of losing people?
Dang.
I guess to me, I think I would be more honest with people because I think a lot of people are scared of being honest
Right.
to people. For as like just going by my business. For as like I was going to do like a job or something like that, or like somebody ask me for advice, and I know this person really don't take the truth well, but if I didn't care about losing them, I like, man, I'm gonna tell them the truth. Like, hey, you know, you're a bad person, or this is what happened. You made a mistake right here.
Right.
Kind of in that way, or just trying to be like you said, trying to be successful in life. I don't care about having friends. I don't care about my family. I don't care about my family thing. I'm gonna do it how I want to do. And if you don't like it, then hey, you got your business.
Right.
But I'm in that mode of I'm gonna get to this spot by any means necessary. I might miss birthdays. I might miss holidays because I'm just so driven in my work
Right.
that I don't care. But see, a lot of us value family time, so we'll kind of like make time for stuff like that. But these people that's businessmen, that's billionaires, and millionaires, some of them have sacrificed missing birthdays, holidays, and working on their craft to get where they need to be. And it comes off being selfish. At the time, you'll lose people because people feel you like you're a bad individual, that you're selfish, that you don't care about nobody. But then when they actually get older and actually start realizing what you did and why you did it, for them to get in the spot that they are, they'll appreciate you more. But at the time, they see it as, you being a bad person.
That's 100% true.
I feel like success requires sacrifice.
Yeah.
Some type of sacrifice.
Everything in life, that every step you take requires sacrifice in your growth, in your way to growth. It's just can't nobody get there for you
No.
at all. Like,
No.
can't nobody go that high for you but you. So it's just like, if you're gonna have to be selfish. Like, how to say, it's nothing wrong with being selfish about it, because I'm saying you want to be successful yourself, so you're gonna have to be you're gonna have to be selfish in order to get to where you want to be. Anyways, it's either they like it or they don't.
Right. Is it that they like it or don't? But see, the beautiful thing about this world is, if you're feeling complacent on where you at, the beautiful thing is you can change it. You can change where you at. Like, you can change your mindset. You can change the way you think. You can change the way you eat. You can do all that. And I feel like when it comes to success, making that sacrifice to do all those things, that is a great sacrifice.
Yeah.
I don't see that as a con. Me personally, this is my perspective only. This is my perspective. I'm not accounting everybody else's like way of thinking here. I'm being a little selfish when it comes to this part. I'm saying that if you're sacrificing your time, your effort, your energy, your love into this thing, and you want it to work, and the cons is you just may miss a birthday here and there, so be it. So be it. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other. Nah, I'm gonna be real. One is better than the other. This goal, this passion, this dream that you're trying to accomplish, that is what you need to do. If that's what you want to do, then you need to do it.
Yep.
Right.
If you have a want, you have a need, you have a desire to do it, you should go do it. I don't believe in holding yourself back for somebody else.
Yep.
Because then both of you get nowhere. I would rather get to the top and teach you how to build your own foundation, your own infrastructure, than to just hold back and not build anything. Now we got something is better than nothing, and we all know that.
Yep.
Right.
Dude, $2 is better than zero.
You're right about that one.
Right.
Like, and honestly, sometimes, like, at times I felt guilty because it was like, man, maybe I should just go talk to like my family more, go try to, and I was like, man, you know what, man, I only got one life. My family, I love them. I pray for their health. I check in when I check in. I try to make those days count. I gotta get work. I got something that I want to do. I have to accomplish. I operate like I'm on a clock, like I'm on a stopwatch almost, like I'm running out of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I operate like that, and I'm not saying that everybody should operate like that. That is not healthy. You should not do that. You should take your time. You should enjoy the process. But
Mm-hmm.
somebody like me, like, man, I gotta get it done. It has to get done. If I don't bring this idea to life, it never will happen.
I'm put in a point right there.
Right.
A lot of people don't know how to embrace the process. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are afraid of the process because, how to say, in the process of getting to that best you, like people, how to go, how this. Okay, so like people focus on what they can acquire instead of what they can become. Like that's their fear in that.
Right.
A lot of people that's what a lot of people, not gonna lie, because I thought like that, no lie, because you see what you can get, but some people be afraid of what they will become on the way to getting to what they're trying to acquire, because that best version of them you never know what that best person of them could be. They don't know what they could, how that notch could be. Like they don't know. Like some people might think they might not can't handle that type of heat. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting though, because like, look, of course, people. This is how I feel like majority of people who you say that's scared of the process think. Of course, they're not gonna love the process or embrace the process. It may not love them back, and you
Right.
know what the truth is. It's not. It's not
It's
gonna
not supposed
get
to. It's not supposed to.
any fulfillment from it whatsoever. What's gonna happen is it's going to suck. That's just the reality of it. You're going to fail, fail, fail. You're going to succeed, fail, succeed, fail again. It's going to be a process. Literally.
But
It's going
that's the point of discipline.
Exactly.
Like okay, I'm gonna throw out an example. Just like the other day, you said you got up and ran, and you said you hated it.
Right.
That's discipline. A lot of people don't have that factor
At all.
Like in the process, you have to be disciplined in the process. If you got you got if you can't, you got to have the discipline, because like if you don't have the discipline, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna, how to say, you probably end up doing it for 3 weeks straight. Then that 4th week come around, you start slacking. You're not disciplined. A disciplined person will literally get up. All right, I got to go do this. I got to go do this. They'll get up, they'll go do it. It might suck. Just like you said, it might suck. But at the end of the day, you have to do this. It's not like you want to, you have to do this.
Right.
So
right.
that's that you know.
Like, bro, like, discipline is great, right?
Yeah.
It's great. But are you devoted? A lot of people don't talk about it. Are you really devoted?
Yep. To the craft.
Consistent.
It's a good one.
Because a lot of people talk about this, oh, I'm just going to do this. Oh, I'm motivated to do this. But are you devoted, though? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Where devotion?
What's the purpose in you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
Why? But see, a lot of people don't understand why they doing it. People want to do it 'cause they see other people doing it, but why are you doing it? What's your purpose in doing it?
Exactly.
Because if you're not devoted to the craft and what you're doing, you're never gonna be successful.
Facts.
And you go keep saying, well, this person did, why I can't do it? Well, you gave up after 2 weeks. You didn't see no results, so you gave up. You didn't trust the process. You didn't. It takes a bit of process. You're gonna go from step 1 to step 2. But see, if everybody will go from step 1 to step 5, and they miss 4, 3, and 2.
Yep.
Just like you got to crawl before you walk.
Exactly. You can't skip a step. If you skip a step, you're gonna lose.
You cannot skip any steps in the process whatsoever, because it will always fall back on you.
I'm gonna put it like this. Some people's process is quicker than others.
Yeah. But see, some people might figure it out quicker than you, though.
Exactly.
But you can't be discouraged by that. And that you got to go at your own pace.
Right. Like, say for instance, okay, I'm gonna put us as an example. All right. So we might be on the road to try to like become big time millionaires. You might become a millionaire before me. Josiah, you might end up becoming a millionaire about 2 years from now.
Right.
It might take me 6.
Right.
But it's all about the process and how you move, how hungry you are. If you hungry for it, you will not miss a single second, minute, hour, day of it.
Yep. Right.
I got this saying, right? It always keeps me in check. I always say that. Are y'all familiar with the rabbit in the tortoise in the turtle? Y'all
Yes.
okay. So you know how like in the story that the turtle beat the rabbit, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. I have this saying that okay, it's great to be the rabbit. It's great. I mean, if you fast and you can get there, that's great. But the turtle can win races too,
Facts.
because life is not a race; it's a marathon. So
Yep.
therefore, if the
You gotta
turtle
pace yourself.
keep going on his destination, if he could just keep going, he'll eventually cross the finish line. It may not be when everybody else crosses it, but he crosses it individually.
Yep.
You go at your pace.
Exactly. That's what keep me in check.
Just because somebody got there within 6 months doesn't mean you got to try to get there in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
They might got it in 6 months. You never know. You might get it in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's time clock is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not gonna work like that. Everybody has their time. Everybody has their time to go up. It's just it's just gonna take a little bit of work. But a lot of people don't want to do a little bit of work to get where they want to go.
I agree.
The thing is, sometimes that little bit of work could be the most simplest thing out there. If you show up day in and day out, you're gonna get there.
Exactly right.
Right.
Cause you're not gonna lose if you show up day in and day out. You're not gonna lose. You're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start missing a few days, then you're not gonna get where you want to go.
Yep.
Right. Right. And about an hour. We done did great with this segment, with this session. It was great getting together with y'all again to have an insightful conversation. We might have a bonus episode. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll see. But all I'm gonna say is, it's time to turn off the podcast, get off the social media. Let's lock in, get back to work. Just get back to work. Stop making excuses. Stop putting the days off. Get back to work. Club 78 out.
Peace.
Peace.